Hi everyone, it's Kathy, the Backyard Stamper, and I'm here with another live. I come live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Today, we're going to make 2 cards, and if we have enough time, I'll make a 3rd card. These cards that I'll be making tonight are what will be featured in my in-home class on Saturday, and that's really exciting. So let me do a couple of housekeeping things. We have a great starter kit special right now, and what that means is you can join my Stampin' Up team for $99. You can choose $125 of product from any of our offerings, the catalog, the online exclusives, the clearance rack, whatever you want. You can select up to $125 for the $99. And during the month of May, they are having this fantastic starter kit special. This is an $82 value. You will get all 5 ink pads for the new in colors from this year, 2024 to 2026, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. These colors are so fun and beautiful to work with. So part of the starter kit special is you will get all 5 of the ink pads, 5 of the Stampin' Right markers. These are not the blends, these are the regular markers. The assorted pack of all 5 of the in colors cardstock, that's 20 sheets, and a pack of the in color designer paper series. So designer series paper stack, and that features all 5 colors too. So this is free. They will automatically put this in your shopping cart. You don't need to pick any kind of starter or the in colors to get you started. You can use your starter kit to purchase other things that you may need to get started. So for $99, free shipping, you will get $82 worth of free stuff, $125 of products that you choose, a free paper pumpkin, which is a random selection, some catalogs that you can pass out to your family and friends, and free shipping. So it's tremendous. So if you would like more information, please let me know. You can email me, backyardstamper@gmail.com. You can go to my website, kathyschmitt.stampinup.net, and click on Join Now. If joining as a demonstrator is not something that you're interested in right now, perhaps you'd like to join my In Color Club. This is a way to get all the 5 of the in colors, 1 color each month, so you're collecting them on a budget over the next 5 months. So I have one already put together here to show you what you'll get. I just have to grab one that I put together. So this is one of my In Color clubs, and you'll get 10 sheets of the cardstock. This particular person, Ian, is getting Petunia Pop this month. So she's going to have 8 sheets of the coordinating designer paper, a package of the blends, the re-inker, the ink pad, and a full roll of ribbon, the marker and the ink pad. So this is $53 if you live locally and can pick it up. Otherwise, it will be $62 for me to ship it to you. But this is a fantastic offering as well, and it allows you to get all of the in colors on a budget. So you have your choice. If you are in love with these in colors like I am, you can get them for free as part of the starter kit or on a monthly basis as part of my in color club. All right, so let me show you what we're going to work on tonight. Here are 2 cards that we're definitely going to make. Both of these are new sets in the 24 to 25 annual catalog. This is Layers of Beauty, and the bundle comes with a set of masks. It comes with masks, the stamp set, and the dies. So this is fantastic. This is a $1 Million Achiever set, and it was, the idea was from Shelley Godby. And I have to tell you, Shelley, this is fantastic. So good job. So let me show you where it is in the book. Now, I personally had never used the masks. I was a little intimidated by them, even though back in the early 90s, I stenciled every border in every room of my house. So I'm not afraid to stencil, but for some reason, it just seemed too much to do for a card. But what I found was something completely different. So here is the stamp set up close, or in the catalog, I mean. It's on page 57. The samples in the book are gorgeous. And we are also going to use the Fern embossing folder. I always get a chuckle because one of my stamping friends, her name is Fern. So I love using the Fern embossing folder. All right, so let me show you how easy this is. This is our second card, but stay tuned. All right, so one of the reasons why I really wanted this set is the happy anniversary. I, send a lot of cards, and, with birthdays and anniversaries, it's really hard, you always have celebrate you or thinking of you, but I really wanted a nice happy anniversary, and this one fits the bill. So the first thing we're going to do is cut our paper, our cardstock. This is Petunia Pop, and what I wanted to do is score it first. So we are going to score on the 4 1/4 line, which is halfway between 4 and 4 1/2. Score that and turn it and cut at 5 1/2. I love this trimmer, which allows you to do both scoring and cutting. The top kind of locks down a little bit, so you don't have to hold your paper quite so, dramatically. And you can also use the straight edge when you're folding your card. You can press right up against both straight edges here to make sure that you are getting a good crease. So this trimmer is an excellent thing to put in your starter kit if you don't already have one. All right, so this is my 8 1/2 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. This is going to be my card base. And I'll save this one for this weekend. Next, to do the flower, I am using the Stamparatus, and you don't need a stamp positioning tool at all. I just like to use this when I'm going to be making a lot, as I am in my class on Saturday, or my class people will be making them. And so it just makes it easier for them if I have the stamp here, and it just makes it a little bit easier for them. So I'm gonna put an extra ink pad underneath to just give it a little, and what I did here, I just used a mini grid sheet, and I put it all the way in the corner. Next, I took my paper and I lined it up with this line here, and it doesn't matter where you line it up. It really doesn't, but you just want to line it up somewhere. Okay, so there's my spot, and I'm going to draw just, this is where my paper is, so that if I were to mass produce, I know where to put my paper. Next, we're going to use the masks, and wait until you see how easy this is. It's gonna knock your socks off. All right, so all of the masks, there's 5 in this set, have a little number and a notch. The notch is right in the corner, and the number was like a raised embossed, and I went over the number with a permanent marker so I can see it a little bit easier. First of all, I have to stamp. All right, well, let's do that part here. I am in love with this stamp set, I'm telling you, and I usually do not go for the flower sets because I love the animals, the whimsy, and, you know, fun ones. But this one is beautiful. So let me go ahead and redo that. Another wonderful thing about a stamp positioning tool. And even though we don't sell this anymore, there are others on the market. So if you don't have one, it is a really good investment. There, I think that should be good. It looks like I got a double image there. I'm gonna flip my paper over. So hold on 1 minute. Let me just grab some better tape. I have the purple tape, which does not work that well. All right, this is washi tape. So let me go ahead and tape this down again. All right, so we'll put one there. This has a little bit more stick to it. All right. And be sure, if you're watching, to say hello and give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm showing you. It really does help. And leave a comment. Even if you're watching the replay, be excellent. All right, let's give that some good pressure here. There, that is a good image. Okay, so we're all done with this. Let me just set that aside. Okay, and cover up my black. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually sit down while I'm showing you. So if I go off screen, somebody please shoot me a comment so I know. All right, so the two colors we're gonna use are Petunia Pop and Shy Shamrock. They're both the in colors from this year. And let's see here. I want to see if my card's in the picture there. So, yeah. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the stencil right there. So I'm lining up my flowers. This one's pretty easy. It's just like lining up a die. You go around the outside. And this is where you want to take your pen and fill in that notch. And then I also did my corner here, and I just went across the top so they could see. And then do the same thing at the bottom. So every mask is going to be in exactly the same spot. The notch is going to be right there, and the corners will be like that. And I didn't find that I needed to tape it down, but I am holding on to it. I did move it a smidge. So there we go. I'm back in the corner with my notch. So now I'm just going to take my blending brush. I'm tapping on the Petunia Pop, and I'm going to put the excess right inside the lid instead of stamping it on scratch paper or anything, because then I can pick that ink up after and I don't have any waste. So you just swirl it around on top of your mask. And you don't need to go heavy because the flowers will come to life on their own. All right, so pretty. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my piece of scratch paper here, and I'm just going to flip my stencil over so they're ready for the next person. All right, so here's my number 2. See, I wrote over it with the marker. And putting my notch right in the corner. And I've got this side lined up, and my flowers look pretty good lined up like so. Tap, tap with my blending brush, splotch it off in the lid. Still start off like you do on paper. Start off on the stencil. Don't just like plop it down in the middle of one of the openings. See, to reload my blending brush, I don't have to go back into my ink pad. I can just tap it where I already had pressed some off. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful how it's coming alive? All right, now let's put on number 3. This is really easy. You know, I hope you guys will give it a try because it's not hard at all. And I don't know why I was waiting to try it. So, the reason this comes out so dark is not because I'm pressing so hard on it, but because most of the areas, it's the 3rd time that it's getting ink. Wait till you see. You ready? You ready for the magic? Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, okay, so let's continue. I'm done with the Petunia Pop blending brush. I'm gonna need the ink again, but I'm gonna close it up for right now. And I'm gonna bring in the Shy Shamrock. Same thing, I just kind of open my lid halfway so that I can just touch my blending brush here on the edge and tap it off. Now I have stencil number 4. There. Okay. Wait till you see. Swirling. How many of you did any stenciling when in the 90s? Leave me a comment and let me know. I stenciled shirts and household gifts and anything I could. All right, and the last one, stencil number 5. Goes right there. And believe it or not, I think this masking is way faster and easier than coloring in with the blends. I definitely think there's no comparison, no contest there. I mean, you can blend your roses and get them gorgeous, like with our blending brush, blending pens, blending markers, I mean. But this is so realistic and watercolor looky that I don't know, I just don't think you can reproduce it quite like that. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, how easy. Hey, Kim. Thanks for joining. Oh, you stenciled walls too. Yeah, we're dating ourselves by saying that, you know. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, before I put away all the inks, I'm just going to set this aside for a moment and let me bring in my Petunia Pop. And I want to do my sentiment. Oops, you know what? I need black, not Petunia Pop. And I want to do my inside as well. So the die was cut from a new die set called Unbounded Love. This die set is unbelievable. You got a scallop oval with stitching, a circle with stitching, another circle, oh, you know why that looks so funny? It's because I have some cardstock still stuck in it. Let me get that out. So this one cuts a frame and the inside. Isn't that neat? So I tried the happy anniversary on this one and it was just a little too small. So I went the next size up. And then this scallop will fit in there. So this is really beautiful. So I will be playing with that a lot more. So, but for now, let's stamp our happy anniversary and see how much bigger it is than on the stamp case. Here's the stamp case, and here's my stamp. Quite a bit bigger, which I love. Can't go wrong with a bigger stamp, that's for sure. Okay, just moving things over so I don't have a craft-a-lanche. Okay, let me just make sure that's The other thing about this cursive writing, it's not going to show up as crooked or anything because you can't really tell. So bonus, right? Bonus. Oh, let me do the inside. The inside of my card uses something fancy. And that's a returning stamp set. And I'm really happy about that because this has some really nice sayings. I love this one. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. So I stamp that on the back of my envelopes whenever I'm late sending somebody a card. But today we're going to use Nothing Fancy, Just Love for this anniversary card. So the inside piece is 5 1/4 by 4, just a standard inside piece. And I'm going to just stamp right in the middle. Okay, so let me just wipe that off real quick so I don't set that down on my card. All right, and then I want to get a little bit of the flower here and on my envelope. So I'll show you how I did that. And then I'll show you how to cut it out. So we used the Stamparatus to do our big flower. And I didn't want to take the stamp pad off, so I'm just going to use it for this too. I forgot to put my scratch paper down. So. All right, so now let's see here. I just need a little bit of my end. So I'm just seeing where, see, I want to have my paper kind of like that. So let me just ink up this corner here. Kind of like that. And I know I forgot to put my scratch paper down. Oops. There. And I'm going to do the same thing with my envelope and put that, I'm going to do it this way. I think that's how I did my other card too, was so you don't crinkle the edges, but that's all right. I didn't crinkle it, but I can see how it would happen. Okay, so I'm just going to, let me put a piece of scratch paper down so that I don't keep getting black all over my Stamparatus. So I'm just going to go like that on my envelope. Woo, pretty. Okay, so now my envelope's done. Let me shut this. Get this out of the way, and we'll show you the magic. All right, so let me bring in my card again. Now I did a layer of white using the fern embossing folder. And when you use an embossing folder, you have to remember to, I put it somewhere safe. Let's see here. You have to remember to use plate 4. So when you use the fern embossing folder is a 3D embossing folder, so it's a little thicker. So you're going to use base plate number 1 and the specialty plate number 4. And you're going to just put that in. And of course, you know, oh, I got it right here. I moved it so it wouldn't fall on the floor. So you're going to take your paper. This is just another piece for the inside. Same size, that 4 by 5 1/4. And you can use the line if you want at the bottom to keep it straight. This one doesn't happen to matter. And you put it the hinge side first and make your sandwich. and run that through the stamp cut and emboss machine. And what comes out is this. So that looks really nice, and I thought this went really well with the roses. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that to my folded piece. Oh, I got black on my inside piece. So let's see here. I want to use glue, liquid glue, because it's embossed, so it actually helps adhere it a little better because it gets into the nooks and cracks. Nooks and crannies, like Thomas's English muffins. Okay, there we go. Now it's coming out. Just add a little bit more right there. Okay. And you just want to center it and just leave yourself the same amount of margin all the way around. There. And this particular folder has no direction on it, so the leaves can go any way you need to. Next, we gotta do our die cutting. So I've got my piece here, and I'm going to put this on. It's a huge die. But the beauty of this is, let me show you real quick. This set comes with, the dies come with an additional rose. So you could just isolate just the big rose and cut only that out and pop it up, kind of like to emphasize it or whatever. So I think that's pretty neat. Okay, so to do your die cutting, you're going to make your sandwich. So you need your base plate number 1, thin die adapter to your cutting plate number 3, and a top plate number 3. And here's you put your sandwich, your clear or your bread, and there you go. Through the machine it goes. And out comes this. Gorgeous. All right, so now this is going to go like this on my card, and I'm going to pop that up. Isn't it pretty? I mean, like I said, I usually don't go for the flowers, but when I saw Happy Anniversary, plus I really love watching Shelley Godbey, so I wanted to support her by purchasing her $1 million set, and I wanted to try the masks out, so I hit lots of points this time around. So let's see here. All right, so I'm just going to put it so that I can fit everything on, so it fits inside the envelope. Nothing's hanging out over the side. Then I'm going to pop this up, and I don't need a dimensional on this side. Well, I could put a little half one. Tuck that under right here. So it's helping hold that up. And put one on the other side. Actually, I'm going to do a couple extra, because why not? All right, so I'm going to put that right there. Oh, that looks so pretty. And then I'm going to tie myself a faux bow, which is the best kind of bow, because you don't have to worry about the loops and everything. You just bring it through, and I'm going to cut it right off the spool. Give yourself a little trim. This is the new style for the ribbons. for the in color and the basic beige. So I love how soft it is. I mean, they tie up beautifully. All right, so here I got my glue dot box, and I'm just gonna press my ribbon right where the knot is, and I'm going to pop that on right in the corner, just like that. And give me, oops, sorry, that was noisy. There, just a little haircut, there. And the last thing, of course, is some bling bling. And I'm using my favorite rhinestone basic jewels. I love these things. So, and I'm just gonna put one here. And a small one and maybe a medium one right next to it. Just like that. Okay. Let me show you my sample. And I do have my inside, but I'm not going to adhere this right now because I got a smudge there. And it's a little dark there because I put it in the Stamparatus, kind of funny to do it. So I'm going to fix that later. But there you go. Look at how realistic those roses are. Isn't that neat? All right, so let me show you the next card we're going to make. Let me just clean up my mess. The next one is kind of a punny set, which I love those kind of sets. Okay. So our card is right here. Stay tuned. An important message is coming. Happy birthday! Isn't that cool? I love it. This is the kind of card to give, you know, a guy or a kid or, you know, anybody you want to. It's perfect for all occasions. It's non-gender, so you can mix and match who you're giving it to, and life is grand when that happens. All right, so let me show you what, let me show it to you in the book real quick so you know where to find it. It is a bundle. It has dies. It's on page 67. And here's the stamp set. And the dies. Here's the stamp set, and the dies are right here. So pretty fun. This shows you how big the TV screen is. So it cuts it out. And I could have done a lot more cutting than what I did on this card, but because I'm making it in my class, I can't have the mask card is going to take a little bit longer. So I really just wanted to not make it too hard for my class members. Alrighty, so let's get to making this card. And the first thing is to stamp your television set. I just stamped it with Memento Black. Somewhere here I had a piece of paper. Oh, it fell on the floor. Okay, so I can just keep my surface clean. All right, so let me just make sure I got enough ink on that. Okay, dropping everything on the floor. And I'm going to stamp it. Boy, my hand was really jittery there. You'd think I had enough coffee today. Okay. That came out nice. Now, let me tell you the measurement of this piece. This is 4 3/8 by 3.5. 4 3/8 by 3.5. Okay, let me just wipe that off real quick. Then what you want to do is stamp the words inside. I'm going to test that. There we go. Now it's inked up. Like that. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is go to the die cutting machine. And I forgot to do one like the magic of television for you guys. So I just have to die cut it really quick. Won't be long. So I'm just cutting the screen out here. And the reason is I'm going to put a piece of window sheet there. So this could easily be a shaker card if I popped it up and stuff, but I just wanted to show a little bit more realistic. It looked a little flat with just straight down and colored. So I just wanted to add a little pizzazz. Okay, so let me run that through. My embossing machine is on a different table, so it won't shake everything. So there's my message. That looks pretty good. And then let me carefully peel this off. The reason I didn't want to color first is if I messed that up, then I wouldn't have spent all my time coloring before continuing on. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to finish all my stamping before we start coloring. And I'm going to do an antenna. And let's see here. Let me wash that. For the inside, I want to do that one in black. It's my news flash. It's the birthday. Okay, so I'm just going to put that kind of in the middle, like so. Next, I'm going to use my lemon lime twist to add the explanation, like lightning bolts, like newsflash, it's your birthday. Okay, so my inside is done, and I want to put these on the outside. All right, so that's done. And now it's just going to be some quick coloring. I promise it won't take long. I just used a couple of colors. And I did orange, pumpkin pie, I mean, for the this little trim right here. There. Whoever designed this set really has a great sense of humor, because it's adorable. Okay, and next I'm going to use my dark blueberry bushel, and I'm going to do these accent lines and just color the outside, follow the line around the outside and make an outline of it, just like we did when we were kids. I loved coloring when I was a kid. I was always making pictures for the refrigerator, my teachers, so, and my mom. So I love coloring. Alright, almost done with this part. I'm just doing an outline. And then I'm going to come in with my light blueberry bushel, and using little circles, I'm going to fill it in. And I overlap when I'm coloring with that dark outline. So the obvious line kind of disappears when you're blending it. This is probably the hardest part of the card. And it's not even my hardest, it's yours, because you have to watch me color. I experimented with a couple of different colors, and I love the blueberry bushel color. And the designer paper that I'm using had some in it, so that's what I went with. And then the lemon lime twist is, I think, opposite on the color wheel, so I wanted to use that. So there's my coloring. Next, I just need to do my antenna. This is dark smoky slate. Just like that. All right, our coloring is done. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to attach our window sheet to the back. And you can use any kind of strong adhesive. You can use the Seal Plus or tear and tape, whichever you have handy. Do not use glue because it will ooze and it shows on the window sheet. Even though our glue dries clear, it will show on that. All right, so we just need to plop that down. Okay, then I'm going to take that piece I cut out, my centerpiece, which disappeared. These go there. I didn't leave it over on the die machine. There it is. And I'm just going to put it right over where I cut it out from. And I am going to use a little tiny bit of Scotch tape to tape that on. There. Okay, now I'm going to attach it to my next layer. Just putting on way too much adhesive because why not, right? Okay. Now this piece was 4 3/8 by 3 1/2. So the next layer is the retired stargazing paper, and that is let's see here, 4 3/8 by 3 5/8. So this one here, let me just check that again. This is 4 1/4. So the white is 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. And I'm going to call it the black layer because it looks black, is 4 3/8 by 3 5/8. And then the lemon lime is going to be another 1/8 bigger. So 4 1/2 by 3 3/4. So that's how you get your narrow pieces. Normally I go 1/4 inch, but I wanted a very narrow border because I wanted the TV to be the center point. And let me go and put that right on. See, just a little border. I usually struggle with those to get them straight. And then I'm going to pop this up. Okay, and we gotta put our inside, let's fold our card. This one is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2. So it's a vertical card. And we just need to put this right on. Let's put our inside in. We're almost done. Hope you're still with me. Okay, so that's our card. Now we want to do some Winkastella. And what I did was I did around the orange, just the trim. And I did the lightning bolts here. Makes it really fun. I did try to cut them out of our glimmer paper, but it was just too much. Too much. I'm going to do the ones on the inside as well. Okay, so there's our card, and the last thing are these new basic gray and smoky slate pearls. Those are on page 114 and 115. I love how they did the embellishments this year, making the pictures nice and big. So they're number 14 right here, which are right here, $7.50, and you get 160 of the pearls. And they're perfect for the little circle on the antenna, like that. And then I have some retired fine sparkle adhesive backed gems. These I got on the clearance rack quite a while ago, and I'm just putting that over where I colored it. These are Calypso Coral, but when you put them over the other color, it doesn't really show badly. So there's my card. I see I got a little bit of coloring outside the line. So to fix that, we have a color lifter, and what you want to do is now it's going to take a minute to dry, and that should push the color back to the inside of the blue. So pretty fun cards. And the last one for our Saturday class this week will be this one. So we've got an anniversary card, a birthday card, and a feminine birthday card. This is a designer's series paper card that uses the 12 by 12 sheet cut at 4 inches. It's scored at 5 1/4 and then folded back at 1 1/2, and then I use some glimmer paper. And this is the Unbounded Love stamp set. So I will show you how to make this card next week. And if you're interested in coming to my classes, please let me know. I have them twice a month on Saturdays, 2 sessions, one at 10 o'clock and one at 1 o'clock. And you make 3 cards for $15. So that's a pretty good deal. And if you can't make it, I'm happy to make the cards for you and send them to you, and I just charge an additional $6 for the postage. So that's it. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and please like and share the video. Don't forget about the starter kit special. This is only good during May. And like I said, it's $82 free on top of your $125 of product. So you don't have to spend any of your $125 to get the in colors, because they're going to be given to you for free. So that's really amazing. So you end up with over $200 of product for $99, plus a paper pumpkin, which is $24. And I also still have my In Color Club. If you're not interested in joining the team right now, please consider being part of the In Color Club. You'll get a different color every month for 5 months. And every month you'll get a package like this with that month, everything for that month's color. So this one's Petunia Pop, and somebody else got Shy Shamrock, and somebody else got Pretty in Pink. So that's it. So if you want to reach me, please email me, backyardstamper@gmail.com. And my online store is Schmitt.stampinup.net. and I blog at backyardstamper.com. But the online store has a Join Now button for joining the team. Or if you wanted to purchase any of the items that I used today, I'll have them linked in the description of the video. So you'll be able to select them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye now. Thank you, Kim, for saying you're coming on Saturday. I appreciate it. See you then.